really thinking about going to Japan soon. I know how to use chopsticks, I know hiragana, cause I don't feel like anybody here is on my anime expertise level. First, I'll have to get a job.
Welcome to another 5 reasons to play video, featuring the prime of complexity, the downfall of bad hotbar setups, and the most fun job I played recently, the ninja. Let us start with my absolute favorite aspect of a ninja, which is the super satisfying and demanding combat system. Yes, what sounds like a disadvantage at first is definitely the best selling point for the ninja, as I feel like this is a prime example for Final Fantasy XIV's combat system, and how its complexity makes that game stand out to the wide array of competition. Ninja does indeed offer that pinnacle of a gameplay which feels well put together, well rounded, and well executed, while still retaining all the old complexity aspects that Heavensward or Stormblood offered. If a summoner feels too simple, a warrior too cooldown dependent, or samurai's blade works feel tedious, ninja might be your choice. Unlike a black mage, the ninja's combat system feels challenging, even without difficult mechanics to deal with, which means that just on a simple dummy fight or the dummy itself, ninja is already fun to play, and you could enjoy that practicing moment even before tackling actual content. But when looking into its toolkit more specifically, there are multiple ways how to optimize things, but the whole ninjutsu system stands out drastically. If you ever loved precise but fast clicks, followed by clear paths and orders to execute these, the ninja's mudra and ninjutsu system is without any competition. Clicking 3 buttons in different order to unlock different skills is screaming for the power of anime, but with a clear sense of gamer satisfaction. Yes, I talk about uniqueness on basically all jobs, but if you ever tested out ninjutsus, as clunky and prone to misclicks they are, it is a blast to use them and something no other job has access to. But of course, these distinct and unique aspects and combat design and how the rotation is formed lead to 2 more reasons why you should play a ninja. The first being that easy content as 24-man raids, normal 8-man raids, or even dungeons feel super enjoyable and fun to participate in. The best about it, you get rewarded with insanely good personal and even group supporting damage. For me personally, I haven't experienced any more fun in Aglaia with any other job yet than I had with the ninja, especially as my fighting skills improved significantly comparing the first to the last fight, when I fully acknowledged the ninja's combat kit and timed my opener more properly. Even though I like Samurai and Reaper doing Aglaia, with them this felt insanely hollow compared to the ninja runs, and even after getting my weeklies and footage filming done, I wanted more. So I did the normal 8-man raids as well, where I figured out another advantage, but more to that later. So for easy or better said duty finder content, ninja is my top choice, if you like it a bit more challenging than usual even before tackling extreme or higher end content. However, the story doesn't end at that level, and the third reason is drawn out of the best relation of skill floor and skill ceiling. While I would not say a ninja has a low skill ceiling, it definitely is among the hardest to perform on the top end of the charts. However, it is indeed so difficult in its opener and for very brief moments of your rotation that it kinda flattens out afterwards, which is much more in line with boss mechanics. I mean, yes, in Ultimate you will constantly get butt slapped by mechanics, so the difficulty level of all jobs is basically flattened out or overshadowed by the boss' intrinsic challenges. However, on Savage or Extreme Trials, Ninja can live up to its bursting window, squeeze in all the juice there, and then relax for the big and bad mechanics coming, granting a significant advantage over jobs like Black Mage, where the rotation doesn't have that big oomph moment and you constantly have to manage positioning and timing of stance swapping. On top of that, I feel like the ninja has the easiest to handle positionals from all melee jobs, because except for reapplying your Huton buff, which now could also be achieved by using Horizon, which definitely is a DPS loss compared to your comboed Armor Crush, but you could get away with this still. On the other hand, even without the use of Horizon, only having to use a single alternate positional than your usual rear Aeolian edge is not a difficult task to achieve, and mostly lines up with the boss's movement and turns anyways, so positionals are actually a non-issue on the ninja. So TLDR of these two aspects, ninja makes the easy content way more interesting and fun to play, and when you're fine with its opener and rotation and got some good practice on it, difficult content might become easier for you than with other melee jobs or the Black Mage. Until you reach the really high-end parsing or ultimate fights, of course. Especially with how you have access to legitimate ranged attacks that, if timed correctly, can be utilized without downsides, where all the other melee jobs suffer from any second of missing uptime. Yeah, Reaper maybe can take 1 GCD more, but Ninja is still the melee king on that aspect. Alright, but who is the Ninja for? Basically for all those players wanting to have the fast-paced Dragoon skills combined with the Samurai flexibility and a burst rivaling with Summoners. It is basically a jack of all trades, making up our 4th reason to play a Ninja. You might not be considered the safest choice of jobs like a Red Mage or Summoner, but one that has tons of party support and adjustability for their teammates. Like I just said, due to how the Mudra system can offer ranged attack sequences and you have the ground target portability, there's tons of movability and flex in any step you take. Maybe other melee team partners that love to have you at their side instead of the very position heavy Samurai or Dragoon, because they play one of these jobs anyways. Or if it's just the mark buff granting very good damage scaling for any high burst party setup that was more intense before patch 6.1 but still retains its core features and how your debuff might be better than what Dragoon or Reaper are offering. Even when Battle Litany might take the lead when it comes to stat scaling in later patches. But I do believe that especially compared to a Monk whose Brotherhood is very close now, Ninja offers the better overall kit to set up your group's positioning around, and definitely the much more stylish combat drip. Unless you just embrace the way of the fist, which is understandable indeed. So every raid group will love to have a ninja at their side that knows their stuff and is flexing with adjustability inside and out. However, all this might not appeal to you, or to some players, because there's simply just one reason why you want to play this job. That is the power of anime. Yes, we also have a samurai and we might even get further Japanese anime jobs, but the ninja was the first one in this game and weaving these mudra still is the biggest anime-esque thing a job could possibly do. Nonetheless, anime might not actually be the selling point, but a whole army of Assassin's Creed or stealth game fans in general might be attracted by this job. And while I touched the stealth aspect in my last 5 reasons to play ninja video, where using your hide skill only becomes relevant before the battle starts and to reset your mudra stacks, since 6.1 this changes significantly. Yes, I don't want to mention PvP in every video now, but believe me, it is a genius move from Square Enix and Team Yoshida that they introduced the whole stealth and instant kill style to the ninja for its PvP limit break, or how ninjas can literally smoke bomb their way out of combat to directly reappear behind weakened targets to finish them off violently. I was absolutely mind blown on my first matches how cool this feels, and that apart from having a very sick and cool PvE rotation, this feels totally different but insanely well symbiotic, so that ninja, while still not having the whole system where the anime power and stealth topic are merged together, we find this by the two sides of the same job's coin, split into PvE and PvP. Where in both departments these are just badass and it produces tons of fun to play that job no matter what content you tackle. I mean, even just standing next to a market board doing my daily business is so much more fun as a ninja, and all this sick drip is pouring through each pore of this job. But I get it. Even when I really try to be a hype machine for each job on these videos, we cannot leave some possible issues unmentioned that some players might face or that have the potential to go down badly in the ninja's future. First, I'm split about Tenchi Jin. Some people call this an unnecessary hindrance that you have to stand still to use it, and I agree. I failed many times to do so myself. But on the other hand, it is a 120-second cooldown. I highly doubt you cannot make that short window of standing your ground fit into any encounter, especially as most of these are ranged attacks anyways. However, complexity always has the potential to stand in the way of newcomers, console players, or in particular to people with certain disabilities, where performing such a complex and fast opener might become disheartening to perform. But of course, it can apply to all players starting with the ninja coming from another job, for example. So if you fall under any of these categories, maybe try to find a different job, or just take up the keen blade of all trades and become the best anime protagonist anyone could imagine. Yes, even though having an MMO mouse and proper keybinds make this job a lot easier, with passion and love for ninjutsu and stealth combat, you will make it happen, and you will become a good ninja. It's all about the right motivation, and Ninja is offering tons of that. A last thing to mention. It is not an expansion job, but you can also not start with the Rogue, which is the ninja's base class right off the bat. So you have to use another class as a tool to gain access to Rogue on level 10, which can be seen as good or bad compared to how expansion jobs are usually introduced now. But nonetheless, there is simply no competition when it comes to a job providing so much fun in a rotation that it literally is your most interesting choice dragged through all the multiple difficulty levels, or even when taking PvP into the mix. It's a jack of all trades, the Levi to each Irvin Smith raid leader, and definitely the job that I recently had the most fun playing all sorts of content with. So don't be that dream within a dream, the loose spinning edge, but the throwing dagger of your party that pierces not only the heart of your enemy, but conquers the heart of each player playing it. Until next time, stay 10 in your heart, stay 1 with your chi, and follow in the footsteps of Jin, becoming the ghost of Eorzea.
Don't talk shit about Attack on Titan. It's a really good show.